when you look at like what 200,000-300,000 years ago, early humans, right? We shared spaces. We were not monkeys, but we shared spaces with monkeys, with chimps, right? Chimps were stronger than us, just like they are now. They bullied us out of our position. You know what I'm saying? Comfortable in the trees with all the fruit and all of that, right? So we had to figure shit out. We were weaker. We were beat up by our circumstances, right? But as a result of us not having that strength that they had and these cool strategic positionings, we out in the plains of the savannah in Africa, running around, hiding from lions, figuring out how to hunt them, you know, becoming more cunning, right? Becoming more mentally agile, right? Then we figured out fire and put it on food, and then grew these crazy brains. Boom. Now, fast forward to when we started having civilizations. You know, we had Mali, we had Ghana, we had Kemet, we had all of these beautiful, thriving African civilizations. And then to the north, the Europeans were in their dark age, you know what I'm saying, caves, right? So it sucks there. There's no natural resources. The weather sucks. Everything's all bad, right? They get to a little bit of exploring. They see these Africans. Can't be me, right? Now, one might ask, like, how could the Africans just let this shit happen? You know what I'm saying? They were those chimpanzees. They were those chimpanzees in the trees. They're strong already. We ain't gotta try hard. We good. We got everything. What's up? Come on in here. What's up? And the wife came in, pop, 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 pop. We taking this. You know what I'm saying? Knocked us off our perch, out of position. They went through such extreme circumstances. It made them strong. It made them powerful. Uh, uh, Extreme circumstances or stress will destroy you, or it'll make you beautiful. It'll make you strong. Pressure can bust pipes, or it can produce a diamond. You feel me? So those who do not die out become powerful. Now, fast forward 400 years, 600, whatever. Blacks here in America. Now, just a little bit of like, you look at the census, it's hard to determine how many Black people are on the planet because they call us different things, right? But I took the liberty of just sitting through and going through all of this shit one night. The majority of the people on this planet right now are Asian, and slightly, and right under them is Black people. You know what I'm saying? However, Black people are not doing much of anything except for right here in America. Why is that, Mike Rashid? Because we were beat up by our circumstances. You know what I'm saying? We was pressured, and we didn't die, right? The Native Americans was pressured too, and they kind of died out. You feel me? We didn't die, so we became fucking beautiful, powerful, right? Exporting not just culture, arts, intelligence, like the whole nine, and thriving. And see, we're in it as we speak. It's not over yet. We're on a monumental ascension. Black people in America, different from Black people in South America. We're different from Black people in Africa. We're different from Black people in Asia. You know what I'm saying? Right here, it's a little special sauce because we've been treated so fucking shitty. You feel me? So this is an equation. This is a constant. Now, we all know everything in the universe can be reconciled with mathematics, with geometry as a constant. With a constant like the number one, you know when it's always going to pop up. The one is the most common constant, but you know, you have Fibonacci sequence, you have Pythagorean theorem, you have all of these pi, you have all of these different formulas and equations that repeats itself. So we're able to predict human behavior, events, this, that, and the third. So this is a constant, right? When a people are, you could say, downtrodden or really beat up by their circumstances, that was no fault to them. If they don't die out, they become fucking powerful. You know what I'm saying? So these are
fact. That's the process of the making of a God people. Take them through the works. Because here's the formula is, as you just explained, taking them through the darkness. The darkness is a chamber. You know what I'm saying? It's a place where things are fashioned and made, right? So when a person is going through that darkness, it don't matter what you go through in the darkness. The time that you spend there, that's not what breaks you. What breaks you is staying there. right? So you have to then go from the darkness into the light. Once you go from the light, that's when you grow. So the darkness is the womb where it roots you. The same way you got a seed, but if that seed stays in the ground, it doesn't become a tree, it doesn't blossom, it doesn't produce anything. So it's the same thing when a person is going through what they call like a dark night of the soul. You can be going through adversity, you can be stressed out, you could be tripping, pulling out your hair, trying to figure out life. But when you can get and figure it out and you learn the lesson, now you step into the light. Now you have the ability to transmute, right, the energy that you just took in and all of that and use it for something. So now you're great. And this is why there's a such thing as good trauma, right? When you see all great people, they all have some, most of the time, they go all have some
Facts.
sort of trauma in their
Facts.
childhood.
Yeah.
All of them. So it's like you may be going through a dark time in your life. The question becomes, man, this is a test and this is a challenge. Now, once you step into that light,
Right.
watch you grow. Watch you grow. But get through it though. Don't stay there. Because too many people stay stuck in it and they get used to it and they get attached to it. Right. And then they start trauma bonding. Right. And now this is all they know is the darkness. And because they're used to it, they keep self-sabotaging and pulling themselves back into it because we crave a place of comfort. We crave a place of familiarity. This is why people in the hood sometimes don't want to leave the hood, even though when you leave, that's the light. And your value is now seen because now you have a perspective, you have grit, right? You have a style, you have an experience that's strong in other places, but you are so comfortable and so addicted to this darkness that you don't want to step out and go into the light. And so people like, nah, I'm cool on that. You trying to get me to think future forward. You trying to get me to travel. You trying to get me to think this, that, and the third. You got to go from the dark to the light,
There's
which
a
is a
certain key.
process
There's
of
a certain
becoming.
bravery that comes with going into the light. You feel me? I think Ye talked about it. He said a cat in the hood, they're going like somebody broad daylight in the hood, but they're scared to go uptown and do anything to these white folks, right? They're afraid, intimidated by something that's different, right? Here's the thing, man. It's about bravery, man. Like people got to understand this. When people can really grasp the idea that, you, as far as we know, this is all we got right here, this life. You know what I'm saying? And every day that go by, you ain't getting back. It's like toothpaste. You squeeze out the tube, you can't put it back in. It's a wrap, right? So what are you doing with these days? It will come to a time where your day is going to be done, right? So what are you doing with these days, right? I like me, I live my life predicated on the fact that I will transition out of here one day. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's in my best interest. When I see you, I embrace you, I give you your flowers. All the people I respect, I honor y'all. I honor you. You know what I'm saying? Because I would love for you to honor me on the day of my transitioning, and I have high regard for me when I'm out of here. Because look, that's what we do as humans. You know what I'm saying? An animal don't think about its mortality. It's just like I'm chilling. I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat right now. I ain't gonna save nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just live for right now. We think about we live forever because for multiple reasons now. One, we have seeds, we have children, and that's us and them. Another reason is we have influence, right? This beautiful thing right here called social media and these phones. We have people that can come and get a piece of us, get a piece of our wisdom, and plant that seed in them. And it grows in a different way for them. And they can do the same thing for their people, right? So, and these videos will live forever, forever. You know what I'm saying? This is the modern hieroglyphics. You feel me? So these are the things that I think about, and that's what my life is predicated upon. Like my great grandkids, like yo, grandpa was a G. Look at him, look at him. You know what I'm saying? So some people just don't. Here's the thing: people are stuck in primitive living, right? And primitive because they have no resources. Now, I've been in a position before in my life when I had no resources, right? It was very uncomfortable. It was not for me. So I escaped it. I did everything I had to do to get out of it and never look back. You know what I mean? The further you are from nature or primitive living, the more that you're thinking about things on a higher level, high level. You feel me? The more ideas you're coming up with, the more altruistic things that you're going to do for other people. The more frameworks you're going to put together, things that have nothing to do with you. Like the work that we do, bro, is for other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need shit. I'm easy. I'm good. You feel me? I do shit for other
Yeah.
people, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's a super fact, man. I'm excited for the future. To be honest, it's gonna be beautiful. Somebody say 19 Keys grandchildren gonna be like, my grandpa was a black guy. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like my grandfather. I barely know him. He had Alzheimer's. So, you know, even the small time that I did spend with him, we used to play like chess and checkers. He was actually good at it till the day he died. He never
So,
forgot how to play, but he always forgot who was playing.
you.
So yeah, I'm your grandson. He ain't never remember. But, you know, it's funny because we don't have enough of those stories, right? The
Mm-hmm.
grandfathers and the grandmothers, the elders are gone, you know, and when the elders are gone, the
Mm-hmm.
children are left to make their mistakes in the house, you know, and you have a new generation working to become elders again so that a new cycle can become, right? So when you take the elders, because we got a lot of old people, but not a lot of older people, but not a lot of elder people. And the
Right.
elders are the ones who pass down the wisdom, right? The elders are the one, they extend the grace through wisdom and through teaching you and through guiding you. But it's not, that doesn't exist. And I've always had that issue my whole life. Like, I always known, you know, older people to feel threatened when they see the younger generation come up and they be like, nah, I feel like this person gonna take my place. And I'm like, isn't that the point? If I'm not being groomed for the next
Yep.
leadership position, why am I here listening to you then? So you should not be fearful that you have this mind that has all this potential and capability and they see it within themselves. Nah. And so I would always get opposition from older people. I would never get guidance. Right. So that's what I had always been missing. And so that's something that I knew that, damn, I would have to probably go through this life being seen as a threat, right? Before I can be seen as, you know, someone that could be assisted and helped along until you get to such a point where it's like, all right, he's proven it. Now I'm up here with people who's proven themselves through similar or the same situations. And now they have respect for you taking yourself through
Right.
that adversity to where you are, right? And now you can build something. Now you can have this growth. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, when you become of the 1 percentile, and not 1 percentile, the people who run the world and all of them niggas, but I'm just saying it in accomplishment. Then of course somebody of the 99%, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna hate because you always talk to hate people in power. You always talk to hate people with money because. And it's not that the people in power and a lot of rich people and wealthy people don't do evil things. You're not taught for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
You're taught so that you don't become one. You know what I mean? You're taught to hate power
Yeah.
so you don't get it. You're
Yeah.
taught to hate
Yeah.
money so you don't get it. Right? You're taught to see people go and make big mistakes and then well, don't you vision big because you might make it. And look how the people go tell, well, don't you speak truth? Because if you, you're taught to fear the very
Right.
thing you're supposed to go after and become. So when you see it in other people, you hate it because those are the traits that they taught the
That's
slaves
real.
to hate.
It's, man, you hit the nail on the head, man. And it's basic. It's real basic. It's slavery. All right, so the culture of slavery still exists in its purest, right? And people got to
Mm-hmm.
start divorcing themselves from this culture. It all, and I talk about this to people all the time. It go down to like chastising children, right? People, they'll take a little funky
Mm-hmm.
Bible scripture and run with it. Spare, I'd hate the child. Whatever happened to figuratively speaking? You know what I'm saying? Why is that got to be literal, right? Y'all talking slave talk, right? We wasn't, our ancestors wasn't whooping their children. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't assaulting children, right? They were teaching them, putting them shit, uh, putting these boys through the rites of passage, right? We come up, you know, the way that we're taught, whooping, 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 whooping. That shit is horrible. That shit is such an
Mm-hmm.
abuse. And anybody in here that defends it, slap your wife or whoop your wife. See what happens. You're going to jail. So why should you whoop your child? This is why you're teaching your child
Mm-hmm.
to, first of all, they ain't worth shit, right? You're not loving them properly, and you're teaching them to resolve conflict with violence, and that's not how you resolve conflicts, right? So that was me when I was young, scrapping. at the drop of a dime, because that's how I was raised, getting whooped like horribly. You know what I'm saying? All my cousins, all of us, horrible, right? That was a slave tradition that I decided I'm breaking. I'm not doing that. I never hit one of my children, not one time. I never even felt the need to hit them. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I pour so much love into them and respect into them. They've never done anything to where I feel like I need to physically do anything to them. That's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? So, and I want them to be better than what I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? What you said earlier is like, the older generation, we supposed to lean down and let them stand on our backs and be taller. And that shit just keeps going. That advances our families, that advances our civilization, you know? So that's one thing that we could do to abandon and divorce ourselves from the slave culture. And then another thing is just these schools, right? One thing that you always say, Keys, that is, it says right here is customization. You know what I'm saying? Customization. What is your child's what do your child like? What are they into? Oh, run with that. You know what I'm saying? Run with that. Fan that flame, right? Because that's what they're gonna be great at, and that's what they're gonna be happy doing. You know what I'm saying? Why would you tell a kid like, no, no, stop thinking about that and read this history book? History, his story. Like, fuck, that means nothing to me, right? So it's like it starts in a home, right? In my house, this is the epicenter of the education for my children, for my family. This is also the hospital for my children. This is also the police station, the protection for my children, for my family. That's how we all gotta be. And fellas, it's y'all, it's us that has to proclaim that and qualify ourselves to be the head of that, the president of your household, the king of your household. Y'all are not the kings of your household, bro. When you giving your kids away to some strangers, the most impressionable years of your life, of their lives, that you have not vetted out. You haven't done a background check on the teachers. You don't know what the other kids is like. He's like, hey, go, boom. Oh, they need to, and then people this cop out. Oh, they got to socialize. Like, nah, nah. I'm very careful with who my people is around because look, my life now. Now I had to jump through me. We had to like figure shit out to get where we're at, right? But now that we are where we're at, I can properly insulate myself with the right people, the people that I want to be around. You know what I'm saying? My children are starting where I'm leaving off. I'm pretty high. So why do they have to subject themselves to creeps and weirdos and pedophiles? And they don't. They're insulated from that. Let's believe that. You know what I'm saying? So, and their network of people, of associates, their parents are wealthy too. You know what I'm saying? But we have to be the presidents of the kings of our kingdom. Motherfuckers ain't kings of it. Men be thinking that just because they fucking a girl and getting pregnant that they doing something. Like, bro, you're a liability. You're a liability.